my name is Jessica, and I will be taking you on this journey into history. I have always been fascinated with history, mysteries, and the paranormal, so I decided to create a podcast that encompasses all those things. If you find these things fascinating like me, then please, I encourage you to come along each week to see where history takes us next. This is a two-part episode. The second part won't be released until November. Welcome back to another episode of Ancient Secrets and Haunted Journeys, where we unravel the past, one mystery at a time. Today, we're leaving behind the maritime mysteries and haunted lighthouses to venture into the heart of East Africa. Our subject is a creature that has both fascinated and terrified communities for generations, the Nandi Bear. Named after the Nandi people of Kenya, this mythical creature is said to roam the forests, hills, and savannas of East Africa, particularly in regions of Kenya and Uganda. The Nandi Bear is a subject of folklore, scientific curiosity, and local cautionary tales. Descriptions of the creature vary, but most accounts depict it as a ferocious, bear-like animal with powerful limbs, sharp claws, and a terrifying roar. Some say it walks on two legs, while others claim it's a quadruped. Its fur is often described as dark, either brown or black, and its eyes are said to glow in the dark, adding an otherworldly aura to its already fearsome presence. But what makes the Nandi Bear truly intriguing is its elusive nature. Despite numerous reported sightings and even some alleged attacks, concrete evidence of its existence remains scant. No photographs, no remains, and no definitive tracks. This has led to a wide range of theories about what the Nandi Bear could be. Is it a figment of collective imagination, fueled by cultural myths and local folklore? Or is it a case of mistaken identity, where known animals like hyenas or large primates are misinterpreted as the mythical Nandi Bear? The story of the Nandi Bear is not just a tale of a mythical creature. It's a narrative that intersects with colonial history, anthropology, and even psychology. During the colonial era, British explorers and settlers wrote about the Nandi Bear, often framing it as a dark and mysterious force that epitomized the unknown nature of Africa. Today, the creature holds a dual role in East African communities. For some, it's a cautionary tale told to children, a symbol of the dangers that lurk in the wild. For others, it's a subject of genuine scientific inquiry, a puzzle waiting to be solved. As we delve into this captivating topic, we'll explore eyewitness accounts, sift through historical records, and examine scientific inquiries in an attempt to separate fact from fiction. Whether you're a skeptic or a believer, the story of the Nandi Bear promises to be a journey into the unknown that you won't want to miss. The Nandi Bear is said to inhabit the diverse landscapes of East Africa, primarily in regions of Kenya and Uganda. To truly understand the mystery of the Nandi Bear, it's essential to delve into the geographical and cultural tapestry of these regions, which are as complex and multifaceted as the legend itself. Kenya is a country of contrasts, where arid savannas meet lush highlands and snow-capped mountains overlook expansive lakes. The Rift Valley, a geological marvel that stretches across the country, is a hotspot for biodiversity. It's within these varied terrains that the Nandi Bear is said to roam, particularly in the forests surrounding the Nandi Hills. These hills are part of the East African plateau, characterized by their red volcanic soil and dense foliage, providing ample cover for any creature seeking to evade detection. The forests are a mix of indigenous trees, like the African olive, and exotic species like the eucalyptus, creating a unique ecosystem that supports a wide range of wildlife, from leopards to various species of monkeys. It's home to the source of the Nile, the world's longest river, and the Rwenzori Mountains, also known as the Mountains of the Moon. The country's national parks, such as Bwindi Impenetrable Forest and Queen Elizabeth National Park, are teeming with wildlife, including mountain gorillas, lions, and elephants. In Uganda, the Nandi Bear is said to frequent the dense forests and remote villages, where locals speak of it in hushed tones, a creature of the night that evokes both fear and awe. The cultural context is equally important in understanding the Nandi Bear phenomenon. The Nandi people, after whom the creature is named, are part of a larger Kalenjin ethnic group. They primarily reside in the highland areas of western Kenya. The Nandi people have a rich oral tradition, and storytelling is an integral part of their culture. Myths, legends, and folklore are passed down through generations, serving as both entertainment and moral lessons. The Nandi Bear, known locally as Kemosit, is often featured in these tales, portrayed as a fearsome creature that punishes those who venture too far into the forest or engage in immoral behavior. The legend of the Nandi Bear also intersects the colonial history. During the late 19th and early 20th centuries, British explorers and settlers ventured into East Africa, bringing with them their own set of beliefs and biases. The Nandi Bear became a subject of fascination, often framed as a dark and mysterious force that epitomized the wild and unknown nature of Africa. Colonial records contain numerous accounts of the creature, and it was even featured in British newspapers, adding an international dimension to the local legend. In modern times, the story of the Nandi Bear has transcended cultural and geographical boundaries. It's discussed in online forums, featured in documentaries, and even studied in academic circles. Environmental changes, such as deforestation and urbanization, have added a new layer of complexity to the legend. As human settlements expand into previously untouched areas, the natural habitats of many species are threatened, leading to increased human-wildlife conflicts. In this context, the Nandi Bear serves as a symbol of the untamed wilderness that once was, a reminder of the delicate balance between humans and nature. Therefore, the setting is not just a backdrop for the legend. It's an integral part of the story. The landscapes of Kenya and Uganda, with their rich biodiversity and complex ecosystems, provide the perfect stage for a creature as elusive as the Nandi Bear. The cultural and historical elements add depth and nuance, making it a tale that is deeply rooted in the social fabric of the region. As we proceed to explore the various facets of the Nandi Bear legend, the setting will serve as our guide, helping us navigate the intricate maze of facts, myths, and speculations. Whether the Nandi Bear is a real creature or a figment of collective imagination, its story is inextricably linked to the landscapes and cultures that give it life. Here are some historical accounts. The tale of the Nandi Bear is steeped in a rich history that spans multiple generations and cultural perspectives. While the creature is deeply rooted in the folklore of the Nandi people, its legend has been documented by various sources, from colonial explorers to modern-day researchers. One of the earliest written accounts of the Nandi Bear comes from the colonial era, specifically the late 19th and early 20th centuries. British explorers, missionaries, and settlers who ventured into East Africa often wrote about their encounters with the local wildlife, and the Nandi Bear was a recurring subject. These accounts were often tinged with a sense of exoticism and mystery, framing the creature as a symbol of the dark continent. For instance, Geoffrey Williams, a British colonial officer, wrote in 1909 about a terrifying creature in the Nandi Hills that locals referred to as a chemosit. Williams described it as a large, bear-like animal with formidable claws and a fearsome roar, echoing the descriptions found in local folklore. Another notable account comes from Captain William Hitchens, who published an article in the journal Discovery in 1937. Hitchens recounted stories he had heard from the native tribes during his travels in East Africa, describing the Nandi Bear as a brutal killer that would decapitate its victims and drink their blood. While Hitchens never claimed to have seen the creature himself, his account added fuel to the already growing fascination with the Nandi Bear in Western circles. The creature also found its way into the diaries and letters of big game hunters who roamed East Africa in search of exotic trophies. Charles Pittman, a game warden in Uganda during the 1920s, wrote about the Nandi Bear in his memoirs, speculating that it could be an unknown species of hyena, or perhaps a surviving member of a prehistoric species. Pittman's theories, while speculative, reflected a growing interest in the scientific community to unravel the mystery of the Nandi Bear. In the post-colonial era, the legend of the Nandi Bear has been revisited by anthropologists and folklorists interested in understanding its cultural significance. Researchers like Dr. John Geroge, who has studied East African folklore, argue that the Nandi Bear serves multiple roles in local communities. For some, it's a cautionary tale that teaches children about the dangers of venturing too far into the forest. For others, it's a symbol of resistance against the colonial forces, a creature that eluded capture just as the native people resisted subjugation. Modern-day accounts often come from local residents, farmers, and occasionally tourists who claim to have encountered the creature. While these accounts are largely anecdotal, they often share common elements. A large bear-like animal with dark fur, powerful limbs, and a terrifying roar. Some reports even include physical evidence, such as large paw prints or scratch marks on trees, although these have yet to be verified by experts. The digital age has given the Nandi Bear a new platform, as online forums and social media groups dedicate to cryptids and mythical creatures often feature discussions about the legend. Amateur researchers and enthusiasts share articles, photographs, and even alleged video footage, although the authenticity of such evidence is often a subject of debate. What's fascinating about the historical accounts of the Nandi Bear is the way they reflect the attitudes and beliefs of the times. The colonial accounts, with their exoticism and sense of adventure, speak to a period when Africa was viewed as a land of mystery and danger. The post-colonial and modern accounts, on the other hand, offer a more nuanced perspective, acknowledging the cultural and symbolic importance of the creature. As we sift through these historical accounts, we find a tapestry of stories and perspectives that add depth and complexity to the legend of the Nandi Bear. Whether it's a real creature, a myth, or something in between, its story is a historical and cultural artifact, a narrative that has evolved over time, yet remains as captivating as ever. Eyewitness accounts form a crucial part of the Nandi Bear narrative, offering first-hand experiences that range from intriguing to downright chilling. These testimonies come from a diverse group of individuals, including local residents, farmers, tourists, and even researchers, each contributing a unique perspective to the legend. One of the most compelling accounts comes from a Kenyan farmer named Joseph Kipkemboi, who claimed to have encountered the Nandi Bear in the late 1990s near the Nandi Hills. According to Kipkemboi, he was tending to his cattle when he heard a guttural growl emanating from the nearby forest. Upon investigating, he allegedly saw a large bear-like creature with dark fur and glowing eyes. The creature quickly retreated into the forest, but not before leaving a set of large paw prints. Kipkenboy's account was later documented by local authorities, although no concrete evidence was found to substantiate his claims. Tourists have also reported sightings, often while on safaris or hiking expeditions in the region. One such account comes from a British tourist named Emily Thompson, who visited Kenya in 2015. While on a guided tour in the Rift Valley, Thompson claimed to have seen a large, dark-furred animal darting across a clearing before disappearing into the dense foliage. The sighting was brief, lasting only a few seconds, but it left a lasting impression. Thompson later described the creature in a travel blog, reigniting interest in the Nandi Bear among online communities. Researchers and wildlife experts have occasionally weighed in on the subject, although their accounts are often met with skepticism due to the lack of scientific evidence. Dr. Samuel Amondi, a Kenyan wildlife biologist, reported a possible Nandi Bear sighting during a field study in Uganda's Bwindi Impenetrable Forest in 2008. Amondi described hearing an unusual vocalization, different from any known animal species in the area. Upon following the sound, he claimed to have seen a large, bear-like creature retreating into the forest. While he couldn't capture photographic evidence, Amondi collected soil samples from the site, which showed signs of large paw prints. However, DNA analysis of the samples yielded inconclusive results. Local media often covered alleged Nandi Bear attacks, especially in rural areas where livestock and sometimes even humans are said to be victims. One such report from a Kenyan newspaper in 2012 detailed an incident in a small village near the Ugandan border. Residents claimed that a mysterious creature had attacked and killed several goats during the night. While some attributed it to hyenas or leopards, the villagers insisted that the method of attack, decapitation, and consumption of only specific organs was consistent with the legendary behavior of the Nandi Bear. Eyewitness accounts have also made their way into documentaries and investigative TV shows. In a 2019 episode of a popular cryptid-focused series, interviews with local residents were featured, along with recreations of alleged encounters. While such portrayals often lean towards sensationalism, they do bring the legend to a broader audience, sparking debates and discussions about its validity. The digital age has added another layer to eyewitness testimonies, with people sharing their experiences on social media platforms, cryptid forums, and YouTube channels. While these accounts are difficult to verify, they often come with purported evidence like photographs or video footage, albeit of varying quality and authenticity. What makes these eyewitness accounts particularly fascinating is the level of detail often provided, from the creature's physical characteristics to its behavior and vocalizations. These testimonies, whether credible or not, add a human element to the Nandi Bear legend, transforming it from a mere tale to a lived experience for some. They serve as a modern-day folklore, stories shared and reshared, each time gaining new layers of interpretation and meaning. This is the end of the first episode of a two-part series on the Nandi Bear. In honor of Halloween, the whole month of October, I will be putting out episodes of known haunted locations. So please be sure to check back every week to see where we go next. Thank you, and I'll see you later.